guarantee you, one of the best things that you are not watching at the moment is Barbarians on Netflix. Not to be confused with the rugby team. Bonjour. So I finished the second series of Barbarians on Netflix, and I've got to say, what a superb 12 episodes, 2 series. Think about it, in this kind of dismal minus dominated world of entertainment at the moment. I think we're all getting brainwashed into certain so-called formats and certain so-called acting and certain so-called stories, and well, you know what I'm talking about. So how refreshing it is when an actually well-written, professionally acted and put together drama comes along, and it kind of blows you away, and with no disrespect to the show, it blows you away to such an extent that the show, you love the show so much, and it's, and Barbarians is a cut above, but even the most average of stuff against Old Dismal at the moment looks the best thing I've ever seen in the world. Oh, it's fantastic. But I thoroughly recommend, and I'm trying to keep this really, because if you haven't seen it, because that's why I've said it's the best thing most people I speak to haven't seen. And I speak to all the same people that have seen everything else I watch. And the two things, Barbarians, and the other one's Cobra Kai. And I'm going to do a video on Cobra Kai as well, because I don't know why it is in the UK and the friends I've got around me, those two series, everything else, yeah, we've seen that. We watched Terminal List, or we watched, I don't know, Walking Dead, or whatever it is. But Barbarians, it has such an authentic, I'm going to try and keep it, yeah, spoiler free. If anything, there might be the lightest of light spoilers, because so much happens in this, I don't want to spoil any of the fun. And this is what I'm getting at. So much happens in the 6 episodes of the first series. We're introduced to there's the 3 main characters in it: Ari, Thusnelda, and I knew I'd forget all their names. I'll remember it halfway through this video, but there's 3 of them, and it's kind of like them growing up, and then the Romans turn up, and then, you know, and then the stories and the drama. Falkwin is his name. So we've got Ari, I told you, didn't I? Ari, Falkwin, and Ari. The 3 characters, two guys. Thusnelda is the woman. There is no poor acting in this show. And the drama comes from those 3 characters and their friends and family. And it's as simple as that, and the Romans invade Germania back in the day. It is as simple as that. And you can, you know, if you want to apply the overcritical eye to it, you can say, well, maybe, you know, the trope of all the tribes have got to join together to fight the oppressive Roman army has all been done before. But believe me when I say that it's very well directed. Like I say, all the acting performances are superb. Apart from when they have to do overhead shots, and I know I mentioned this in a little video I did when Barbarian Series 2 first come out, but I'll just do this because I'm doing an overview of both series. They only use CGI when they just have to show you like the big Roman encampments, or, you know, the 2 marauding armies, or the two armies clashing together. But then we're straight back on the ground, and we're into practical effects and men and women fighting. And yes, men and women. Thusnelda is an awesome warrior woman in this. Yeah, she's. And then when you look, and I know this is an unfair, I'm not comparing it to Dismal Minus, by the way, but I've just thought of one thing where you look at how the actress in Barbarians portrays a warrior of a Germanic tribe, and then you look at how Dismal Minus handles Valkyrie. which is based on Norse mythology and how she could be. And I know I'm not saying it's all got to be blood and guts and gore and Valkyrie has got to be, but there's just something about the kind of insipidness of everything that they do at the moment against something that comes along like this. And it's from Germany. I watched it in German. All the Roman stuff's in Italian. Now, I assume that there's a dub version all in English, but I think that takes away from it. The fact that you've got all these Germanic tribes and they're talking German, it ain't hard to read, is it? The subtitles at the bottom, surely. And then when they switch to the Romans and they're talking Italian, I don't know. I know it's all make-believe, and I don't know how historically accurate the show is. I didn't do deep dive. You know what I'm like by now. I didn't go online and see, oh my God, where the battles were and that. But it does come across as very authentic. And the other fact being is you don't recognise any of the actors. Or from perhaps in Germany, you know, they're bigger stars than I, and I've certainly never seen not a one of them. And that means you just immerse yourself in it. And it has a feeling of authenticity, as if they did do a lot of research on the you know, the actual period and where the battles were. So practical effects, great acting, great storyline with a lot of heart to it. They're very, very basic storylines, all mixed up. I can't even say in a new way, but in a new setting that is refreshing. And if you haven't started watching it and you are encouraged to watch it, which I hope from my video, you've got 12 episodes of packed, you know, like an hour, almost an hour each episode, and no time is wasted. Everything is pushing the plot along. Or if there is a pause, you know, if there is a bit of walking and talking or sitting down and talking, it is information for the audience to carry the story along, and it's moving all the time. And they pack it in. When I watched the first series, which was either a year or maybe 2 ago, it just seemed like a long wait between the series. I didn't even know if the second series was coming out until I literally stumbled on it on Netflix. So I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon. And the standard has maintained. They maintained the big standard of the first series. And if you want a little bit more like an example of what I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure we've all seen, if you're watching this video, you're obviously interested in maybe in this kind of stuff. We've all seen Gladiator, I think. And you remember the scene at the beginning where we're introduced to Russell Crowe and the Roman legions and all that, and they're in Germania, and you've got all the bearded warriors and they're all giving it large, and you know, dramatic music and all the rest of it, and they're setting their stall out, aren't they? You know, the Romans up there and if you can imagine that the writers have taken one of those tribes down there in the forest from Gladiator and told their story. For a modern audience, it could almost be a prequel. I've just thought, and I'm finding myself really proud of that. But anyway, let's get back on track. I thoroughly recommend it. I know that might seem light, but I want to keep this light and quick, because if I start going into details of it, and you know, it is a love triangle in a way with the 3 characters, but I don't know, me telling you that little nugget is going to make you watch it any more than what I've already said, which is it's decently well written. I'll say it again, it's well written episodes, well paced. You haven't got any filler episodes. Like I do Andor reviews where, and I'm loving the show now after 8, 9, 10 episodes, but the fillers, they just can't help themselves. It's like they're learning as they go. This show is made by experienced professionals, and it shows. The story writing in it, the acting in it, everything is for adults. It's by adults for adults, and I found it thoroughly refreshing, and I thoroughly recommend it. So I'm going to leave it there. And if you do watch it based on my, please let me know. Just come back and comment. it'd just be nice to know. And if you like the video, please, you know, push the old like button, because it really does help to get me videos seen. Well, unless you don't want them seen, unless you've really hated it, give me a dislike then. Anything that kind of generates a bit of something within the algorithm is going to help me understand, well, and get involved. Let's get involved. Let me know if you've watched it, or yeah, if you've watched it and you think, well, yeah, what I've said is right. That will add to my recommendation. If people who haven't seen it, come on, you know, let's shout about it. So I will leave it there. I hope you go and watch it, and I will bid you adios.